Hi everyone, it's Carla from Casey Creates. Thanks for stopping by. I'm gonna just make a lace doily book page because I was just showing you about the lace doily books kits that I put together for sale, and some people who are new to making doily books might not realize how easy it is to create a lace doily book. And so using some of the same pieces that you would find in one of my kits, I thought I would just assemble a page by layering some of the fun little laces and trims. So I have an image of a fairy here because it's one of my favorite themes, and I'm going to show you how I take the felt and just put a little backing. Now I'm going to do a disclaimer here because this is a glue gun that I've never used before. I'm assuming you just squeeze, but I'm not sure. Let's see. How does this work? I guess it's not a good idea to use something you've never used before on camera. Let's see. Ooh, that's interesting. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna have to play with this off camera first. Oh, seems like you stick that in there. And now let's see if it'll work. No. Oh, that is interesting. Okay, note to self. Read directions first. Thankfully, I have my trusty Fabri-Tac right here. I actually prefer Fabri-Tac anyway. I just remember watching videos in the very beginning when I was just learning about doily books. Everybody used a glue gun. Some people prefer the glue gun. I think it does get a little rigid or brittle after a while, but it does hold everything well and it sticks quickly. I just need to coax this out a minute. Let's see, I had a paper clip, or do I have a needle tool? Sorry guys, you always think you're ready to go and then you're not. Let's see, I think that should do it. Yes, here we go. Okay, so first I'm gonna glue down my image. And if you're more into stitching on your sewing machine, of course you can do that. Or even hand stitching. That would be a nice relaxing way to just put this together. Of course not as quick, but it would work. So sometimes the image shows up better too if you put it on some backing like this. And I like to trim around it just a little bit, and then put my beaded trim or my narrow lace trim around to frame it. But I'm going to get a little bit of cheesecloth just to kind of come off the edges, and it's also a way to show you how you can embellish with the cheesecloth if you decide to get one of the kits, because it'll be in your kit. So I'm also going to layer this. Cheesecloth just gives it that fun kind of shabby vintage look. You'll probably find cheesecloth and or eyelash trim on almost all my creations. Kind of hanging off the edges like so. And then I'm going to try and decide if I want to put one more doily for stability, and I think I do. So I'm going to, if you go to an antique shop or a thrift store and you find these crochet lace doily mats. Oh, they just work great for cutting up and making individual doilies. And I want to, sometimes I cut the center out, but I'm not going to on this one. I just want to add one more for thickness, because I think this might be my cover one. We'll see. You know what? Before I add that one, I'm going to add this really pretty one, because this one I'm not as concerned about covering up, because it's pretty, but it's not like the one I want to necessarily highlight. But it will add, because it's such a nice thick cotton thread or fiber, it's going to make it nice and sturdy. But I'm going to use one of my vintage really delicate ones on top. And these little things hanging off I might use to actually make my spine. So I've got that really pretty one there. And let's just play with it a minute. I'll see if I want to do that. Yeah, I think I'm still going to add one more for a little more substance. There. And then I could cut this into a circle to fit in there, but I think I like the juxtaposition of the rectangle on top of the circle. But I'm going to trim a little bit more of the cheesecloth off, because I really just need a little hint of that, to my taste anyway. So I'll add a little more glue. Oops. It's kind of oozing out, isn't it? So I'll spread that around some. It's being a little bit challenging. The good thing about Fabri-Tac though is you don't need a lot. It'll stick really well. Alright, and so I'll put my pretty little flower fairy on. And then I'm going to trim it. Which trim shall I use is the question. So I was telling you guys in another video how I like to use the ruffled trim, because it goes around circles really well. And I technically should have put that one down first if I was going to do it, but I'm not going to, because I really want the prettiness of this doily to show. So I'm going to find a trim that I really like. Let's see. That's sort of big. I think I'm going to use these pretty little daisies. Yeah, I like that. And then I might be tedious and put a tiny little gem in the middle of each daisy, but I probably won't do that on camera. But I can come back and show you. But for now, I love the idea of putting this pretty trim around the edges. So let's see. I just glanced this really pretty yellow and white daisy trim, and I just love how it helps the image pop out. So I'm going to use this, even though I think this is a primrose flower fairy. I don't mind mixing the different flowers because it's a flower, so it makes it a flower fairy. Yeah, I don't want that yellow to, uh-oh, my scissors went somewhere. Hold on one second. So I'm gonna cut it right here. There we go. Okay. Excuse me. I'm gonna snip that because it's stretching a little too much. There we go. Right, so I've outlined my image with the pretty green and yellow daisies. Just a little more glue. Now the image is more tea-dyed looking, which I might just take a brush, paintbrush, and mute down the color of the white daisies a little bit with some tea. I've been known to do that. Okay, and so I've got basically the front cover, if this ends up being the cover, done. But I love to cut smaller pieces and do more layering, which I'll probably do. Like I've got this beautiful piece from a curtain, and I'm going to leave a little bit of that just to layer with. Yeah, I'm going to lift this up a little bit. I also like how Fabri-Tac is very forgiving. It allows you to move things around for a while before it's too stiff to move. And I used to be a little bit picky about ivory with white, you know, like if it was all ivory or cream, I'd want it to all be ivory or cream. But now I like to mix white and cream together. I'm trying to get it to come out. This was an older bottle of glue that wasn't quite used up, and I didn't know I had it, but I think it is a little thicker, harder to get to come out. So I'm covering up some of this pretty doily, but that's okay. I like that. And I feel like I want something right there, kind of more prominent as far as an embellishment. So I think, oh, I like that. Let's do that. This is like an old collar piece, but I'm going to layer it on top of the white here. So that's what I find most fun about lace doily books, is just all the amazing layering you can do. I think that's going to end up covering that more than I want it to. Oh, I think I like that. Oh yeah, let's do that. So what I'll do is put a little glue here. And a little glue here, and I'm just going to kind of offset this piece. I'll save that other piece for inside. Put that one there. And let's see, this one here. Move this one over just a little bit. I'm finally feeling a little more relaxed. I had such a hard time realizing that I'm actually off for a while. I had a bit of a project yesterday. I did what they call live at lunch at this clay studio I work for, and you basically just craft and create and chat and show people your process for creating with clay. It was a Facebook Live. I guess I should have told you guys. You could have watched. I think it's still there under Clayworks. Anyway, I did that, and it was just a 1 hour thing, but I feel like it took me a week to get ready for it. So that is behind me, and I am just trying to change gears and go into relax mode. I mean, I'll still be teaching at the studio, but that'll just be 1 day a week. A long day, though. I'll start early in the morning and not get home till late at night. But I'd rather get it all done in one chunk. So let me see. Let me turn this around and look at it a second. It's a little off-centered. So I hope everyone's well. You'd be, I'm sure everyone's actually preferring to be outside, since I think restrictions are lifting and we're able to be a little more free. I'm kind of trying to balance it and get a little bit of both done. Still not quite happy with the way this is centered. Let's see. Okay, well, I'll leave it for now. What do I want in the middle? I don't know. I think a piece of bling would be pretty in the middle. Let's see. So what I'm using right now is probably not all in the kit. Ooh, that's bright and beautiful, isn't it? But it doesn't have what I want on the inside. I have some flowers that I dyed a while ago. Let's see if there's anything in here. I do like these. Don't know how well they're gonna work with that green. I guess if I just wanted to be non-matchy-matchy, they would work. I may come back to this because I'm not quite sure what I want to do. And I do like these. I just wish they had a little more green. Oh, but that is kind of pretty. Just because it's whimsical and fun and not too matchy-matchy. So I think I'm gonna do it. Let's add more color than I'm used to using. That's probably the problem, is I'm holding off because it's more color than I'm used to using. But sometimes the project dictates what it wants more than I dictate it. I think it's saying add that pop of color and that little extra touch of cheesecloth. So I'm gonna do it. One here and one here, and then the third one here. I'm gonna pull this cheesecloth down a little bit more. Right there. That's kind of fun. I'm not sure about these things. I don't think I like them. I might mess with those a little bit, or put something on them. You have to play, don't you? You have to play to get it right. I think I like that. I'm gonna do that. Maybe. Oh, do I like that? I don't like those just kind of hanging. They look like the legs of a chair or something. But this is just craft with me, so if you haven't gotten bored yet, if you're still there, I'll see it through to the end here. Just this page anyway. And whether you're with me or not, I'm gonna keep going. Okay. Everyone's talking about how hot it is all over the country, but as far as North Carolina goes, or South Carolina, I live right on the border, we're having basically normal summer temperatures, mid 80s to up lower 90s. That's kind of normal for our area. I like that much better because now those don't just look so random. And if I can have my way and just keep being random and whimsical, I'm going to stick this pretty sparkly piece right there, just for fun. Okay, so this is the first page. Oops, I probably should glue this down a little better. Let's flip this over. Put a little more glue here. It's not quite dinner time, but I'm going to get up and get dinner started so that I can get back to my crafting and know that that is behind me. Now that my family's more grown up, I don't always worry about dinner every night. But tonight I feel like cooking. Okay, so there is that. And it is kind of colorful and mix-matchy on one hand, but on the other hand, it says fairy to me, and that's what's important. So if I were going to do anything else, I think I'd put a lovely rayon seam binding bow. And if you didn't know this, I learned this from the lovely Maggie White. I asked them, how do you get, this was like, almost 3 years ago. I said, how do you get your seam binding so crinkly? And she said, oh, I just ball it up. I don't know if she said with a little bit of water or not, but that's what I like to do. But she said you just crinkle it, and she was right. And if you don't know who she is, she makes amazing doily books. I learned a lot from Maggie White many years ago, watching her make doily books. So I want to make a bow. I think I need a little bit more. I like when a doily book, or when seam binding is real crunchy and crinkled. It's just so fun and textural. This one is fraying. I bought a new brand of seam binding. It doesn't seem to be the same quality. So I'll tie the bow and then I will crinkle it again. And there's just so much more you can do by just adding layers and bits and pieces and crinkles and trims. And I'll, like I said, I'll probably mute the color down a little bit with some tea, even on these. But what I love is, I know I always name people, but I've learned so much from so many crafters. And if you look at Ruby at Little Books, oh, she just adds so many fun little elements to look at, and maybe that's what's inspiring me too. But that's why I don't like to keep things like perfectly in a circle, or someone's calling, sorry, or predictable. So I just crinkled this up some more, and I think I'm going to put it at the top like that, but I'm also going to add maybe a little more bling or something in the middle to pick up that there, which I think I've already decided what it's going to be. Boy, you guys, I've got to figure out how to make this glue gun work. I'm so bad at reading instructions, but I better do that. This is crazy. Seems like it should be easy enough. Up there it goes. Great. Because I just want to put a little bit for the bead I'm going to put on here. So for now, I'm going to end up covering up the word primrose, but just a little bit there. And then this really pretty bead. It's one of my favorites. Can you see that? I'm going to put that right in the middle. And you know what? I think I need to nest it down in a little bit of cheesecloth. Otherwise, I think it's going to potentially roll off, which we don't want. So let me see. A little bit of cheesecloth. Oops. I'm not the best with hot glue. End up getting it everywhere. Alright. Now we'll nestle it down. Hold it there a minute. I guess this is what I get when I craft with the camera on. Anyway, I love watching you guys craft with the camera on. You seem to do it with much more finesse. Not that finesse is necessary. Ooh. And after I turn the camera off, I'm definitely going to see how to properly use this glue stick gun, because it seems like a really good idea. Gives you a little more control. Alright, so there's the first page, and then I would just flip it over and put some more felt and do some more layering, and maybe instead of a image I would do what's called a flower page. That's when you make a really pretty big flower in the center, or you could do a flower page that ends up being a pocket, and that's when the flat straight pieces of lace would come in. You could, let me see if I can find one, like this thicker crocheted lace one. You could go across with it and, you know, cut it to size, and then put a pretty flower on there with some bling in the center, and that could be the flower pocket. So the options are endless as far as embellishing. I think I need to glue these down a little better, but I'll do that off camera. Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. It's always fun to have you join me, and I love doing lace doily books, so I'm just going to keep working on this one for now, and I will visit with you again soon. Bye.